MAGA supporters are getting deported. In fact, recently a man in Wisconsin had his wife deported back to Peru. And she has ID. The idea is that these guys who are getting deported, many of which are not violent offenders, they don't have any criminal records, and many times they have green cards. I mean, this is going on and on and on, over and over. And what I'm saying to people is this. I'm like, listen, Latino community, do you see what's happening? And I know what I mean when I say Latino community. There are 33 different countries in the Caribbean, Mexico, Central America, South America. 33 different. Latino isn't everybody. They're just trying to categorize it. And I know you're different groups of people. Speaking as an African American who's descended from an enslaved people versus Africans who come here first, second, third generation, or Caribbean blacks who come over here in the country. We're different, but we're the same. Love you all. But understand this, my Latino people. This is what we meant and what other Latinos were trying to tell you. I'm not talking to all Latinos because we did get a high vote of Latinos, particularly women at 60% who voted for Kamala. But understand, this is what we're saying to you. We've been trying to say this. African American people have been trying to say this to you for decades, last 50 years at least, that you are not part of that system. You are not part of the dream. You can have your own dream. It's possible. I'm not saying you don't have a right to a dream or you can't achieve the dream, but your need to be white is destroying your people and your families. I say this wholeheartedly because there are, and as some Latinos have pointed out, there are white Latinos who think they're part of the program. They don't realize, no, they're not. America, white America, does not want you getting a bag. They don't want you getting any money. They don't want you coming up in the world. They don't want you doing anything. And black people for the last 160 years, literally to this year, 2025, December 6th, we celebrate the 13th Amendment, 160 years. We have been telling everybody, leading this civil rights charge, not just for us, but for all of us, as well as women of every race, that and people with disabilities and the gay community. We've been leading this charge. We have been the leaders of this bad boy for 160 years. And we're telling you, you're not part of that dream. Some of you look down upon us and say, oh, well, you blacks are different. And it's not just Latinos. It's Africans who come over here or Caribbeans who come over here think that you're different. Yeah, culturally you're different, but we understand the problem and the racism on a deeper level than you ever will because we have it generationally and we understand. And we're all different types of people. We all have lazy people or negative people or people who are part of that problem. No matter who you are, what color you are, what your background is. What I'm talking about is that with Kamala Harris, some of y'all got into y'all bag, whether you're Latino, African, Caribbean, you got into your bag about getting a black Indian woman. Maybe she wasn't black enough. Or maybe because she was black, you didn't want to do it. And the Asians too. And the Asians are catching it as well. They're catching it. And what I'm trying to tell everybody is we all in the same darn boat together. We are in this together. They're not saying, oh, this group, that group, the other group. They're saying you. And you means all of us. Subscribe to my channel for more. I talk about not only what Trump administration is doing, Vance, Elon, blah, 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 Doge, but I'm also talking about who's winning and what the score is, because we are winning. Out of 35 rulers, 34 we've won. We are winning, okay? It's an ugly win. It's brutal. It's bloody. And yes, they are enforcing it through the judicial branch. We're a decentralized government, so you can't come in and say, I'm the president, I'm going to do what I want to do. If you're believing that, you're believing the wrong thing. Also, don't confuse effectiveness with execution, because he's throwing all this stuff out. But like I said, we're 34-1 in effectiveness. We are effective. He's executing. And it's kind of like that old saying, your rubber, I'm glue, bounce off me back to you. It's like spitting outside of a moving window, a moving car into the window. It's coming back to you. What I'm saying, trying to get you to understand is that we are in the fight. And that's what I talk about here on my channel. Please join me, connect with me. Thank you. And yeah, we are winning. And the deportees, I'm sorry to hear that. But at the same time, you know, F around and find out. Yeah, you did. Now you know what to do. Jump in the fight. Everybody should be joining Indivisible.org. Indivisible.org. Leah and Ezra have a great great organization of millions of people who are mobilized. Whether you're in a blue or red state, you get scripts on how to reach out to your representatives. They got local community meetings. It is from a local level to a national level. It is big. You got to connect with them. All right. I'm just on their email list. I'm not a member or an owner of anything. I'm just telling you, they are helping the fight, and we are all fighting together. We are, and we're going to win.